One day, a rich girl walks out of her house. In her hands, she is holding a beautiful and expensive dress. As she walks along the road, she notices a poor girl standing nearby, wearing old and torn clothes. The rich girl stops for a moment, looks at her, and says, "Do you want this dress? I have many dresses like this at home." The poor girl looks surprised and slowly replies, "If you really want to give it to me, I would gladly take it. I truly need it." The rich girl smiles and says, "Then take it. From now on, it belongs to you." The poor girl happily takes the dress into her hands. But as soon as she touches it, she feels that something is hidden inside. She carefully checks and notices money tucked inside the dress. Without saying anything, she quickly folds it so the rich girl will not notice and quietly walks away. After walking a little farther, she stops at a quiet place and opens the dress again. Looking at the money, she becomes silent for a few moments and softly says, "This money does not belong to me." She carefully keeps it safe, hoping that one day she will get a chance to return it. Later that evening, the rich girl's mother calls her and asks, "Where is the dress I gave you earlier?" The girl casually replies, "I gave it to a poor girl on the road." The mother suddenly becomes worried and says, "What have you done? There was money hidden inside that dress." The girl becomes shocked and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't know." Without wasting any time, the mother rushes out of the house and starts searching everywhere for the poor girl. She looks through streets, markets, and nearby roads for hours. Finally, she reaches a park. There, she notices a girl wearing the exact same dress. She quickly walks up to her and asks, "Dear child, where did you get this dress?" The poor girl calmly answers, "A girl gave it to me." The woman takes a deep breath and says, "That girl was my daughter. There was money hidden inside this dress. Please, if you still have it, return it to me. I truly need it." Without hesitation, the poor girl reaches into the dress, takes out the money, and places it into the woman's hands. She says, "Here is your money, and if you want, you can also take the dress back." Tears fill the woman's eyes. She says emotionally, "No, keep the dress. It belongs to you now. You are such an honest girl. Very few people would return money like this." The poor girl gently smiles and replies, "It was simply the right thing to do." Then she quietly walks away. The woman, deeply moved by her honesty, silently follows her. After some time, the poor girl reaches a child's birthday party where there is delicious food, bright decorations, and many well-dressed guests. The poor girl politely asks, "I am very hungry. Could I please have something to eat?" Instead of helping her, the people laugh at her and ignore her. They even throw a piece of cake into the trash rather than giving it to her. The poor girl remains silent. She slowly walks to the dustbin, picks up the cake, and looks toward the sky. With tears in her eyes, she softly says, "Thank you, my lord, for still providing for me." Seeing this heartbreaking moment, the rich woman can no longer hold back her emotions. She walks to the girl, gently holds her hand, and says, "Please come with me. From today, I will help you and give you work in my home." The poor girl looks at her for a moment, then nods. Before leaving, she softly says, "I returned the money because what is not mine can never bring peace." Hearing these words, the woman stands speechless, her heart filled with respect and admiration. The grand opening of the shop is happening. There are lights everywhere and a crowd of people. A man is holding his wife's hand as they walk up the stairs. Both of them look happy. Behind them, another woman is also coming up the stairs. Suddenly, the first woman accidentally steps on the other woman's dress, and it tears. People around them are shocked. The second woman gets angry and says, "What have you done?" The first woman nervously replies, "I'm sorry, I didn't see it. It was a mistake." The second woman shouts angrily, "You have no right to be here." The first woman gathers courage and says, "My husband also has a share in this shop. You can't throw me out." The second woman laughs sarcastically. "A share? You people, stop dreaming. This place is ours." Hearing this, the first woman goes silent, her eyes filled with tears. She walks inside the shop and starts apologizing to the guests, but her heart is broken. Meanwhile, her husband cuts the ribbon and opens the shop. Everyone starts clapping, but there is no happiness on her face. After a while, she leaves quietly and goes back to where she is staying. She looks at a picture of herself with her husband and softly says, "Why has our life become like this?" She wipes her tears, takes a deep breath, and changes her clothes. As she tries to go back, the door doesn't open. She gets confused and tries again. Suddenly, someone places a hand on her shoulder. She gets scared and says without turning, "Please forgive me, it was my mistake." A voice comes from behind. "Wait, it's me." She turns around and sees her husband. Shocked and emotional, she hugs him tightly and says, "Where were you? I was all alone." Her husband asks worriedly, "Why are you here? And why are you like this?" She replies with tears, "Your brother threw me out of the house. I tried a lot, but no one listened to me." He says angrily, "This can't be true. I will fix everything right now." She quickly says, "No, not now. They are coming." He nods and says, "Okay, I'll hide. But the truth will come out soon." He hides. The second woman and her husband enter and ask, "What were you doing?" She replies, "I was changing my clothes." They laugh and say, "This is your level. This is exactly where you belong." The first woman woman says firmly, "My husband will come, and I will tell him everything." They respond mockingly, "He will never come, and even if he does, he won't believe you." Then they order, "Go and make food for us. Hurry up." She quietly goes into the kitchen. Her husband hears everything and whispers, "Now it's time to teach them a lesson." He mixes something into the food. The woman looks at him and says, "Today, they will realize their mistake." She takes the food and places it on the table. They say angrily, "Why did you take so long? You made us wait." She replies, "Sorry, it took time to prepare the food." They start eating. As soon as one of them takes a bite, suddenly the man grabs his throat and shouts, "What is this? My throat is burning." The woman panics and says, "Bring water quickly." In a hurry, she gives him something else by mistake. He drinks it and screams loudly, "What did you give me?" At that moment, the first woman comes back and asks, "What happened?" The second woman and her husband look at each other and smile, as if everything is going according to their plan. The boy goes to a construction site for labor work. He wears a worker's jacket and cap and starts working. He is very hardworking. A rich boy and his mother also come there and quietly watch him. The rich boy says, "Mom, why did you bring me here?" His mother says, "Look at this child. He is still very young, yet he is working so hard because he is poor." The poor boy starts lifting bricks. After that, he fills sand into a one-wheel cart. The weather is extremely hot, but he still keeps working without stopping. He pushes the heavy cart from one place to another and then carries two heavy buckets with difficulty. Sweat is pouring from his face, but he still continues working hard. Finally, evening comes. The contractor arrives and gives him some money. The boy looks at the money and sadly says, "This is very little." The contractor angrily replies, "If you don't want it, then return it to me." The boy quickly says, No, it's okay. This is enough." The boy walks away while counting his money, but suddenly his foot slips and he falls down. All the money scatters on the ground. At that moment, another boy quickly grabs the money and runs away. The rich boy and his mother see everything. The rich boy says, "Mom, why didn't you stop him?" His mother softly says, "This poor child is very hardworking." The poor boy stands up crying and says, "My whole day's hard work is gone. I am very hungry too. What will I eat now?" After some time, he goes to work at a shop because he desperately needs money. He tries to lift a heavy box of watermelons, but the box slips from his hands and falls to the ground. The shop manager sees everything and becomes angry. The poor boy nervously says, "Sorry sir, it was my mistake." But the manager angrily shouts, "I will cut this loss from your salary. Now get out of here." He fires the boy from the job. The poor boy sadly walks away from the shop. The rich boy says to his mother, "Mom, let's follow him." So they quietly follow him from behind. While walking, the rich boy asks, "Mom, what place is this? I have never been here before." The poor boy finally stops near his mother's grave. He sits there crying and says, "Mom, why did you leave me alone? Today I worked so hard, but another boy stole all my money. Everything bad always happens to me. Mom, I miss you so much. If you were here with me, I would never feel this lonely." The boy keeps crying beside the grave. Seeing this, tears also come into the rich boy's eyes. He emotionally says to his mother, "Mom, I cannot watch this anymore. Please let him stay with us." His mother hugs him and says, "Okay son, from today he will also be my child." The rich boy happily says, "Mom, let's take him with us right now." Then both of them walk toward the poor boy. The poor boy looks at them and asks, "What are you both doing here?" The rich boy's mother kindly says, "We heard everything you said. We are very sorry that your mother is no longer in this world. If you want, you can live with us. From today, you are also my son, and this boy is your brother." The poor boy happily says, "Are you really telling the truth?" The rich boy smiles and says, "Yes brother, we are telling the truth. We came here to take you with us." Then the rich boy extends his hand forward. The poor boy holds his hand, and both boys hug each other tightly. How did the rich girl become poor? Two girls move one step forward. One of them has beautiful clothes, expensive jewelry, and everything she could ever want. The other girl only has cleaning supplies and works hard every day. They both jump to the next step. The rich girl becomes even richer, while the poor girl remains poor and continues washing clothes. The rich girl looks at the price of a coat and is surprised by how expensive it is. Meanwhile, the poor girl notices a box lying on the ground. When she opens it, she finds a lot of money inside. She takes some of the money, pays for the coat, and buys it. After that, the poor girl continues working hard. She washes clothes and earns money from her work. Then she opens her bag and carefully puts her earnings inside. Soon, both girls move to another step. This time, the poor girl receives books, while the rich girl gets some things that she does not like at all. She places her hand on her stomach and looks worried. Then she touches her face and stands there in silence. Suddenly, the poor girl receives a message. In the message, someone says, "Very soon, you will become rich." She is surprised to hear this. At the same time, the rich rich girl looks at herself and seems worried about her situation. Then both girls move to another step. At this stage, the rich girl has been involved in an accident. Her medical bills and medicine expenses are very high, and she feels stressed and helpless. On the other side, the poor girl gets a job. She works very hard and earns money. She thanks God for helping her and says, "Thank you, God, for everything you have given me." Then she places her earnings safely inside her box. Meanwhile, the rich girl receives a phone call. The caller tells her that if she does not pay her debts, legal action will be taken against her. Hearing this makes her very nervous. She quickly opens her bag and finds that only a small amount of money is left. She lowers her head and becomes even more worried. After that, both girls move one step forward again. This time, the poor girl gets a good job and has money in her hands. The rich girl, however, becomes sick and her medicine has already run out. She says sadly, "What should I do now? I don't even have enough money to buy my medicine." She opens her bag, but it is completely empty. There is nothing left inside. At the same time, the poor girl looks at her savings and smiles. She says, "These are the rewards of my hard work. I earned every single dollar with honesty and effort." Then she places the money into her bag and feels proud of what she has achieved. Finally, both girls move to the last step. At this stage, the rich girl is sitting in a wheelchair, while the poor girl has become rich and successful. The rich girl, sitting in the wheelchair, says sadly, "I was too proud. I never helped anyone and thought everything belonged only to me. Now I am all alone." The poor girl, who is now rich, walks toward her and asks, "What happened to you?" The rich girl tells her everything that happened in her life. After hearing the story, the poor girl feels sorry for her. She says, "Don't worry, I am here for you." Then she takes her hand and supports her. In the end, the rich girl says, "No one should be so proud that they begin to think they are greater than everyone else. A truly rich person is someone who understands the pain of others and treats it as their own." We work very hard to create these stories for you. Please subscribe to our channel, like this video, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. Thank you for your support.